Guys, I almost forgot to hook up this side, the driver's side O2 oxygen sensor. So I got back under here and did that. Don't forget that. Okay, it's right here on this wire and harness near the oil pressure sensor, I believe that is. Is that the oil pressure? That's the oil pressure sensor. One of these are the oil something. Anyway, that O2 sensor plug wire is right there. Alright y'all, so I just put the belt on. After I put the belt on, I put this coolant hose right here on, going from the upper radiator to the water pump and also to the throttle body. Here is the diagram if you didn't have it. Goes over top of the air conditioning, over top of the pulley, over top of the alternator pulley, and then back towards you around that power steering pump, up under the tensioner and around the crankshaft, and then back up over top of the idler and then on top of the air conditioner. Okay, just so that you see it all. And you can pause your YouTube video. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to start connecting up the AC system. I ordered another high pressure line, so it should be here tomorrow, inshallah. But I'm gonna go ahead and hook up this accumulator, close it up, and probably go ahead and fill up the coolant system, and then start working on the inner fender puzzle, because that's going to be a mess trying to put those. Nah, let me not say that. It'll be alright, inshallah. It'll be fine mounting everything back up for the inner fenders. Alright y'all, I just ran into a little bit of a problem. I put the compressor on the other day and I left those low pressure hoses connected to the compressor. So there's a little fitting down here that I have that high pressure hose bolts to the frame with, just to hold it in place. And as I was trying to push it down, I noticed that as I followed it, I couldn't push it down, and that's because the hose is on top of my lower radiator hose and it should be under it. So what I have to do is take off this, glad I didn't fill it with coolant yet, take off this coolant hose, route the air conditioning tube under it, and then put the coolant hose back on, and then I should be able to put that little securing fitting on it. Alright y'all, I'm getting ready to fill up the coolant. First you got to open up the air bleed. It's this screw right here going into the water pump. My screwdriver's on it. I'm going to loosen that up. Hold on a minute. Now I'm going to have to put the camera down. So you loosen that one up, okay, and then you go to the other side and you got to loosen the other one up. And the other one is right there. The other one's right there up under the throttle body, whatever. Alright, so you see my screwdriver's pointing at it. You get the general location. Okay. You loosen both of them, then you start filling it up, the system up. It's going to push the air out, and it'll also, once the system is full, you'll see coolant start coming out of those two bleed holes. And then when you see coolant coming out, you stop filling and tighten them up. So now with both air bleed screws open, you start filling up the system. When you start seeing coolant come out of the screw, you know the system's full. Once you get once you see the coolant is going to come out from the alternator side bleeder hole first. So you tighten that one back up, and then you keep filling it up, and you'll start seeing it come out of this bleeder hole on this side. Tighten it up. Then you get your coolant and you continue filling it until it gets to the top of this neck here. And then you need to crank the car up, let the water pump start turning, suck it down, and then you're going to let it burp you're gonna leave the top off, leave the car running, and you're gonna start seeing bubbles pop up out of here. Get all the air out when there's no more bubbles coming, or before the thing starts overflowing. If it sucks down too much, you keep putting some more in, and once it fills up all the way, and I'll show you this later on, but I'm not gonna crank it up now. It's nighttime, I'm in a residential neighborhood, and the headers, there's no mufflers on it, so it would be way too loud. So before I go to the muffler shop, I'm gonna do all the bleed, inshallah. I'll show you all of that. Burping it, I mean. Alright, y'all, it looks like it's time to put the inner fender back on. When I put it up, it has 3 holes in a pyramid scheme here. Hold on. Yeah, 3 holes in a pyramid scheme. And this fuse box, I can't show you with the camera because I have to get up. Well, just remember these 3 holes and these 2 holes. Remember that. So on the face of this thing, you see the triangle here? Right there, right there, right there. It makes that triangle. And then the 2 holes are right there on that ASR. So those 2 get mounted. They're already in position. So I'm just gonna have to find a way to hold this panel by myself and start some bolts in it. Remember when I pulled it off, this one snapped off on me. I tried to drill it out and that didn't work out. So I'm gonna just have it holding on with one, and I'm gonna find some, I don't even know. Anyway, I'm gonna try to put it back on. It's not that much to this. It's just mounting these 2 things, the ASR and this fuse block on the inner fender, and then mounting the inner fender to these side skirts and to the frame. You who have a nice Corvette will have one here and one here. Me, I'm gonna have to get my trusty scrap nut and bolt sets here and try to find me some screws that are gonna fit. Alright, y'all, I'm buttoning it up. I got that bolt in, got the triangle shaped bolts with the fuse block. I put the ASR bolts in, those 2 right there, the ASR. Had the tie wrap on my inner fender, the middle part, because the bolts are all broken. Finnegan and Freiberger would be proud of me. After I got done, I have one vacuum hose coming off. What is this? Coming off the ASR. The bottom of, no, that's, where's it coming from? Coming from the air pump. Coming from the air pump connection. So wherever that goes, I might can look up the emissions thing later. The car will tell me if something's wrong though when I start it up. I was looking at everything, just checking, double checking, make sure everything was tight, and I noticed that my alternator was not connected here. So I'm about to bolt on that alternator, put the cover back on the fuel injectors, and this side should be, oh, and then connect the throttle, and then this side should be buttoned up. So let me go ahead and hook this up, and I'll show y'all how to hook in that throttle if anybody was wondering. Now back to the most difficult part of the job. Actually, I can't do this with 2 hands, but you slide. I just have to tell you about it again. Sorry guys, I don't have somebody here to help me out. The wife's not into it, and the neighbors are all just desk jockeys. Okay, this piece here is gonna slide in. It just slides in right there, like that. That piece just slides in right there like that. And this one, have to actually open the throttle up to get this little, dang, I haven't even been watching. Okay, sorry about that. Let me start over. You slide the throttle cable into the slot right here. Okay, and it's gonna snap in, but I don't want it to snap just yet. And then this little piece here that little piece there, you have to open this throttle up, and when you bring this is where this goes into. You bring this all the way back here to the throttle cable, and you latch it in, and then you run it through its little track, and you're all done. You snap that in. So let me show you that. I'm gonna go ahead and do it off camera, come back and let you see. Okay, so like I said, you got to lift this up, and then you just wiggle that thing around until it slides off in there, and then you run your cable down that little track and right out the back there. And then if your car is in good shape, it has a little clip right here that you'll have two of them. One that clips it in that, and the other one clips it in there. But mine doesn't have that. So go ahead and get the cover back. Make sure all my fuel injectors are plugged in. Yep. All the vacuum hoses are on. They're plugged in. Yeah. Air tube is tight. All those fittings are in. So let's put this bad boy on here. That's snapped into place. Oh, this is, so if you have a throttle cable, I was wrong, it does not clip into the fuel rail. It clips into these covers, but mine's broken. There's another one that would clip in right there, but I only have one and it's broken. The other one is MIA. Alright, and that's everything over here on this side. MashaAllah. I got a zip tie in my computer because the thing under is broken. It's all good, guys. Sometimes it bees like that, but it's been a fun job. Oh, and I got to run this grommet back around the top of this, and then mount the battery and the side fender, or the side louver. Inshallah. Then we're all wrapped up. Alright. Later, guys.